Hello. Now today we will discuss the extension of previous discussion, that is how a PMMC instrument can be used as a meter, and in this example we will discuss how a PMMC instrument can be used as a ammeter. Now PMMC instrument is also called d'Arsenoval galvanometer. Now here in this example we will show how it is used as an ammeter and some basic calculation behind that. Now as we know that ammeter is used to measure the current from a unknown source, and also here in the case of the ammeter we know that a shunt resistance is to be connected to protect the high amount of current, to protect the meter. Okay, and you can see that this is your meter. Okay, this is your PMMC instrument. Rm, resistance of the PMMC instrument of the resistance of the coil is Rm, and this is your indicating instrument. This is the basic meter movement, and the whatever current is passing through the meter is passing through actually through the coil. Okay, now upon passing the current through the coil is producing flux, and this flux is producing the force, and that force is responsible for moving the pointer that will indicate with the proper calibration, that will indicate the value of the unknown current or voltages that we want to measure. Now here in this arrangement, this is a basic ammeter arrangement, and in this basic ammeter arrangement, this is your meter, and across the meter, that means a resistance is connected. This is called the shunt resistance, and this is the shunt resistance, and this shunt resistance is connected in parallel with the meter. Now the working of the shunt resistance, as I have discussed, that it is based upon the basic ammeter principle. That is, if a high current is trying to pass through the meter, if we don't use the shunt resistance, then what happen? If a high amount of current, we want to measure a high amount of current, okay, through the instrument with the help of an instrument, then the instrument is actually costly. So if we want to measure or somehow mistakenly high amount of current is passing through the meter, that means meter can damage. So if the meter is damaged, the whole instrument would be not in use. So that's why we connect a shunt resistance, so that this value of the shunt resistance is very much low, so that if a high amount of current is trying to pass through the meter, then that will not going to happen. The high or most portion of the current that is passing through this unknown source is passed through the shunt resistance. Then the shunt resistance, in this way the shunt resistance will protect the meter. So that is the use of this shunt resistance. Next, the resistance of the shunt. Here we will calculate the various parameter, that means the value of the resistance of the meter for the various current, and what is the value of the shunt resistance for various measurement of the current. Now the basic parameter of the meter is, that is the Rm. Rm is the internal resistance of the movement of the coil. That means whatever the resistance offered by the meter, that will be only contributed by the coil resistance and nothing else. Next is the RSH. Now RSH is the resistance of the shunt, as I have said. Next, the meter current. Now the meter current is, or IFS. IFS is the full scale deflection current. That means the meter is going to give a full scale deflection. Full scale deflection means the pointer will deflect to its rightmost position if a high amount of excitation is provided, and that amount of excitation is provided or represented with the help of this IFS. That means whatever the value of the current, that will be responsible for full scale deflection of the meter movement, that will be represented by IFS. And I is, this is your I, this current is that we going to measure, and here the shunt resistance is connected in parallel. Okay, here the shunt resistance is connected in parallel, so that the shunt resistance is connected in parallel. Okay, so since the shunt resistance is connected in parallel with the meter movement, now the property of the shunt is actually whatever may be the voltage drop across the shunt, that will be equal to the voltage drop across the meter. That is the principle of the parallel circuit. So that principle is applied here, that is the voltage across the shunt, that means this is the shunt current ISH, shunt current SH, shunt current, and RSH is the shunt resistance, and IM is your meter current, and RM is your meter resistance. So these two voltage drop across the meter and across the shunt are equal, so that this equation is valid as the parallel circuit is employed. And from that equation you can easily find out the value of RSH. Value of RSH is IM into RM divided by ISH. So that is the value of your shunt resistance. And also the shunt current, that if the total current is I and the meter current is IM, then we can calculate the shunt current as ISH, and ISH is represented by I minus IM. Therefore we can write the RSH, the expression for the RSH is IM into RM, and ISH is just replacing the value of ISH is I minus IM. So that is the expression for RSH. And if we can manipulate the expression then we can get the value I by Im equal to 1 plus Rm by RSH. So that is the multiplying power. This multiplying power is actually I by Im. This I by Im is actually 1 plus Rm by RSH, that we will require later. So that is the minimization of the expression and nothing else. Okay. Here the main thing behind that is the voltage across the shunt and voltage across the meter. This is equal. Next, the resistance of the shunt, that the resistance of the shunt is RSH equal to Rm divided by M minus 1. If we get the M minus 1, then this expression becomes Rm by RSH, and you can say this is the Rm by RSH term and here RSH. Okay, so this is your expression for resistance of the shunt. Next, the construction of the shunt. On the construction of the shunt, there is some basic requirement. Shunt is here very important to protect the meter, so that's why some sort of criteria must be applied to this shunt resistance of the material of the shunt. So that is the temperature coefficient must be very minimal, because if a high amount of current is trying to flow the shunt, then the shunt must not, that means the temperature is high, then the shunt resistance must be very, that means if a current, high amount of current is passing through is, then the temperature is increases. If temperature is increases, the resistance is a material, then it will behave not in a proper fashion if the temperature coefficient is high. Okay, if the temperature coefficient of the resistance is high, then if the temperature across the resistance current is going to increase, temperature increase, so temperature coefficient as the resistance is high, then it will not behave in the same manner as it going to expect it. That's why temperature coefficient must be low. Okay, and resistance of the shunt should not vary with time, that means it should not change its own property. They should carry the current without excessive temperature, that means the property of the resistance must be that it can carry a very high amount of current and should not increase the temperature across it. So that's proper material is magnanim. Okay, so that is the material used for construction of the shunt. So that is the material point of view. Next, some example. Here the first example is 1 milliampere meter dearsenable with internal resistance 100 ohm to be connected, to be converted into a 0 to 100 milliampere ammeter. Calculate the shunt resistance. Okay, so the internal resistance of the meter is 100 ohm and we want to convert it to a 0 to 100 milliampere ammeter. Now the shunt resistance required, as I know that the expression for the shunt resistance is, I am going to show you, the expression for the shunt resistance is IMRM divided by ISH, and here you can see that IMRM, ISH is nothing but I minus IM. So in that way, and the ammeter is going to convert it to measure to 0 to 100 milliampere current. So the total current that we are going to measure is 100 milliampere, and the meter current which is going to give a full scale deflection for the meter current is 1. So the shunt resistance must be 1.01. Okay, so this is your meter current, 1 milliampere, highest current, RM, okay, RM meter resistance, and I minus IM, this is nothing but ISH. Okay, so I minus IM, that is, this is your shunt resistance. Now if the resistance of the shunt is known, then if we multiply with then the voltage drop across the shunt is going to calculate it with the help of this equation. That means voltage drop, I have said that the voltage drop across the shunt and the voltage drop across the meter will be same. Okay, now the meter current is maximum 1 and the meter resistance is maximum 100. So this maximum voltage across the meter is 100 millivolt. That voltage will going to across the shunt also. So that's why here written that the voltage drop across the shunt is 100 millivolt. Okay, next we want to calculate. Therefore, the equivalent resistance of the shunt and meter in parallel is, okay, the equivalent resistance of the shunt and meter in parallel is, this is your equivalent. Therefore, indication of the shunt should be, okay, and the indication of the shunt is 100 milliampere, 100 millivolt, 1 ohm. Okay, if the 1 ohm, that is 100 milliampere, and 1 ohm, 100 millivolt. This is the indication on the shunt, and different indication. That means here we want to mainly calculate the equivalent resistance of the shunt and meter in parallel. So that is your main aim. Okay, so that is the main expression of the equivalent resistance of the shunt and meter. I have calculated the shunt resistance and voltage drop across it, then we can calculate the equivalent meter resistance. Next, this is your important example. Here is an example. You can see this is not very important, and the next important example is this mathematics. This is your from the WBT question paper example 2016 paper. This maths comes into, and this example it is said that a moving coil meter has a fixed shunt, okay, fixed shunt of 0.02 ohm with a coil resistance of 1000 ohm and potential difference across 500 millivolt. Full scale deflection is obtained. Full scale deflection is obtained to what shunt current does it correspond? Just look at the first question. Now fixed shunt, now the value of the shunt is 0.02 ohm, okay, and the coil resistance is RM, coil resistance is your 1000 ohm, okay, and potential difference across, that means across the shunt and across the meter there is a potential drop of 500 millivolt, and this is your shunt resistance. This is the three parameters given. Okay, so next, current through the shunt. Current through the shunt is, voltage across the shunt is 500 millivolt, and the resistance of the shunt is, there is a fixed resistance 0.02 ohm, that is written. So that's why current through the shunt is 25 ampere. Okay, that is clear. And so the current through the shunt, you can see that the current through the shunt is 25 ampere. Okay, So 500 millivolt, that is the voltage drop across the shunt and across the resistance. So that, and the shunt resistance and the meter, the voltage drop is 500 millivolt, and the shunt resistance is 0.02. That means the current through the shunt is 25 ampere. That is sure. Now the current through the meter to give a full scale deflection. Now voltage drop across the meter is 500 millivolt. Okay, so 500 millivolt means 500 into 10 to the power minus 3 and divided by meter resistance is 1000. Okay, so that is the current to give a meter a full scale deflection. So that is the calculate the value of R, to what shunt current does it correspond. That means 25 milliampere, 25 ampere current shunt is correspond, and for that purpose the meter reading or the meter current for the full scale deflection is this. Next question, calculate the value of R, that means the coil resistance to give a full scale deflection when shunted current is different. Here the shunted current is 25 ampere. Now if the shunted current is 10 ampere fixed and 75 ampere fixed, then what is the value? Then you have to adjust. If the shunt current is changes, then you have to adjust the coil resistance. So that is the question, that if the shunt current is varied by two different value, then what is the corresponding coil resistance? Then the coil resistance should change from 1000 ohm. That is the question. Next, the voltage across the shunt for a 10 ampere. Now the current, when 10 ampere current is passing through the shunt resistance and the shunt resistance is 0.02, that means the voltage across the shunt is 0.2 volt. Now this 0.2 volt is also going to fall across the meter. Now the meter current is calculated 0.5 this. So for that time the meter resistance is 400 ohm. Okay, so that means we have in our hand the shunt resistance and also the coil resistance, and not the shunt resistance, here is the shunt current. If you want to change the shunt current, then you have to adjust the RM, and if you have to fix the RM, then you have to change the ISH. That is the fix. If this is fixed, you have to adjust this. If this is fixed, we have to adjust this. Here in this case we have fixed the ISH, that's why we are going to change the RM. So first case it is 400 ohm. Now if the value of the shunt current is going to change from 10 ampere to 75 ampere, then the voltage across is this. If the voltage across is this is 1.5 volt, that voltage will appear across the meter also, and the meter current full scale deflection is this, that means the 3000 ohm. So for the shunt current of 75 ampere, the coil resistance is 3000 ohm. Okay, next, what is the value of R? 40 pixel deflection. Then the 40 pixel, when the 40 pixel deflection is obtained with I 100 ampere. Next, if I is 100 ampere and 40% deflection is obtained with 100 ampere, then the full scale deflection must be 250 ampere. Okay, that means here it is said that if the current is I is 100 ampere, then the meter will deflect 40% of its full scale reading. So if the current is 250 ampere, meter will deflect 100%. That is the main thing. So voltage across the shunt for 250 ampere. 250 ampere is the current that is going to supplied by the unknown source. So voltage across the shunt for current of 250 ampere is this. Resistance of the meter of current of 100 ampere to give a 40% full scale deflection is 5 divided by this. That means the voltage divided by current. That is this amount of resistance. This mathematics is important. You go through it very carefully, and the working principle of this ammeter. Thank you.